Hello YouTube, we are back with some more Matchplay commentary for y'all. I'm joined by the highwayman himself, the brother bear, TJ.
The 2:30 in the AM highwayman. He doth arrive on a chariot of water.
But we are going to take a little bit of a rewind now. We're bringing back some BT-15 Matchplay. We had our Evo Cup over at Sully's Abode this past week. So we're going to be sending off BT-15 format with some, final week of gameplay before we head into the BT-16 format for you guys.
Yes, sir.
And like I said before in previous videos, Sully's is basically the car shop that we go to every Thursday, located in Bolingbrook, Illinois. Ton of card games. They've got locals for pretty much everything you could ask for, and just a great shop overall. So feel free to check their shop out. I'll drop their TCG player link in the video description down below, along with our socials. And in today's matchup, we've got Steven playing Vee-Armours on the left. We've got Lezim playing Melga on the right. Should be a pretty interesting matchup. I think both kind of have some interesting tools.
Oh no!
What?
Keep going. I dropped Patamon off my mic. It's fine. Continue. I saved him. I caught him with my thigh.
But I think it's gonna be an interesting matchup. Both decks like to kind of go low to the ground with some kind of toolboxy things to it, so should be a good back and forth. But last bit of administrative mojo before we hop into the match is, if you like our content, you like what you see, you want to support the handsome boys on the channel, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. But yeah, let's hop right into the round. How's Patamon doing? Is he okay?
He's okay. He's back. He's on top of his mount, chilling. I wonder. Hold on, I need to read something.
All
right.
So I'm interested to see how Lezim's gonna do. I mean, I think Melga, we've talked about this at length before. Melga's just sort of in a rough spot with the nerfs that it got. It essentially is just a BT9 Melga with maybe a few pieces here and there.
Right.
And Veemon is sort of on the ode of taking that next step, because we're going to be seeing a lot of Veemon next set.
Yes, this is true. Man. Every time I think about Melga, I think about how Bandai just took it out back with Gold Yeller. Yeah. we the same brain something every time. Oh, that poor guy. He didn't stand a chance.
Did not stand a chance. But decent start by Lezim. He's got a new BT-15 Gabu in the back, and then goes into a training. It was pretty solid. And then we see Steven going into the BT-12 Veemon in the back, and then drops a Davis, but unfortunately no Veemon to play out. Lezim plays out the mat that he picked up. He
just sends it back over. We'll pick up the EX1 Guru,
which I like in this new iteration of Melga, because the BT-15 mat is very, very solid for this deck. And you can just cheat it out for free.
So it goes into the Evo Cup alt for the BT-13. Magnamon will swing, will die in security, and then be able to play out the BT-12V, which will let him pick up another Veemon, and he just goes into a BT-8 Magna and just sets up the blocker. He has 2 plus 2K, so he's a 9K blocker. Big guy.
Big guy.
Big
so Lezim pushes up. He is able to go into a Gabu X, which allows him to tap mat to gain a memory. Of note, Gabu, as he pushed up, does allow him to draw a card as well, and then give the stack blocker as a start of main phase effect. Goes into the Wereguru, so he's really just truly going up the line here. He's got all the battle protections you could ask for. Swings, 1 check. Does end up living.
Beautiful.
Restands.
Second check.
Use X-Antibody effect to go into the Weregar X to once again restand. Pitches 2.
Yep.
And he can pick up a piece, which I'm assuming he'll pick up like a... I think he trashed a Melga at one point, but he does pick up the Guru. Swinging in at 9K. 1 check.
Yep. Big guy. Big fella.
Lives once again. Which, I mean, going into a V-Armor security stack, I mean, once you kind of hit that 8k threshold, I feel like you're pretty much safe unless you hit like a Magna X, which,
yeah,
more often than not, you're hitting some of the lower end pieces or an option. So I think you're pretty safe swinging in there. You go into the Melga Ace, trashes 3, saves turn, pitches a card to pop, and then can pitch another card to pop the post armor purge, but then hits a fire rocket, and it having blocker because of the little Gabu, pass turn. So a bit unfortunate on Lezim's end.
Yeah, unlucky check. But Lezim did get some good chip in, got some good damage. Steven is having to build back a board here. He's just gonna play another Promo Davis, which let him play a Promo V. And he's just looking through his hand, deciding what he wants to do. We'll just go into another Magna for 2, set Lezim to 1, which is tough. Tough choke. Yeah. We see Lezim just sets up another mat. Evo's a Gabu in the back. Grabs a Promo Guru and then passes back over.
Yeah, and then Steven's got all the memory in the world now to work with.
Yeah. Uko combined
crazy.
With...
2 Davises.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking for my Imperialist?
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Uko stuff, I was wondering about dropping out the 2 promo worms and just putting in 2 BT-16 Uko.
For more search.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, BT-16 Uko in general is just so good.
Yeah. It's just an insane card. The card's just crazy.
See Steven doing some pretty good low to the ground pokes, and that's a really nice thing about Fire Rocket as well, is that if you armor purge, the Digimon technically still is live.
Yeah.
So you do get to keep that check +1, which is why he was able to go into the BT-8 Magna and still swing for the 2 check. So pretty solid game 1 from him.
Yeah. Go on to game 2.
I think another thing, not to keep kind of dumping on Melga here, is just like, it was really good back with like all the battle protection stuff, but now with, I feel like a lot of decks are just running security bombs, at least 1 or 2 of, and now we're going to be seeing like vaccine armors in general runs a decent amount of security bombs. Imperial's going to be running Mega Death, Giga Death. Like, it's just bad news bears if you like build up your huge stack, you use all your resources, and it's like, well, bye-bye.
Yeah, it's tough. We see Lezim going back in, just doing a quick shuffle. Lezim, I mean, you know, Melga struggling. Is it still cool that like Melga can still do all these checks? It can still go crazy, right?
Yeah.
It just struggles to close it out sometimes. I think it can get right there, but it's, you know, the other thing too is that I think because of how the meta is shifting right now, so many people are running decks or prepping decks to run more security bombs.
Yeah.
People are pretty scared of OTK strategies, and then you also just have so many other like crazy decks right now that like the security bomb can be the life or death of a game.
Yeah. Speaking of security bombs, shout out to, this is unrelated to the match, but shout out to Justin. Playing Royal Knights, hitting X program just shook me, but it's a really good tech. I like that.
Yeah.
But I think Lezim's got a pretty good setup. He's got a training and a mat ready to go. Steven's also got pretty decent setup with a Promo Davis and the Promo Veemon in the back. Checks a X-Antibody, which keeps the Magna stack alive, which honestly is not terrible. Lezim does decide to push up. Goes into the Gabu X to pick up a Promo Guru, suspending Met to gain a memory. Cracks training to go into said Guru. He's just going up the line now.
Yeah. Gonna get crazy with it.
And like you said, like, you know, Melga can still do very much Melga things. Sometimes you just snowball into the line, you know, you kind of have to take that leap of faith and be like, well, do I do it or not?
Yeah,
Sometimes
you just have to go for it. Just see what you can get.
Yeah.
So Lezim will lock down the ST9 Veemon. We'll go to swing over, or crash into rather, I suppose, the BT-13 Magna, which will just let him spit out that Veemon so he gets some, after he draws a card, and then he'll get some search. Only 1 target. That is a Zudo and a Kuma to the bottom, which is a little rough.
Yeah. We do see a protoform, which is pretty nice. Is able to go into an X-Antibody and trait for reduced cost of 1, and then we'll be able to bounce the lowest level. So it bounces both Vmons, which is good board control.
He did pay the full 4, which he should have just paid 3.
Correct. That's what I was wondering as well.
Yeah, but it's okay.
We see a Heavens comes out, which will pop the stack, which is tough.
Yeah,
there's overflows in play now too.
Let him grab back the Guru.
And we go again.
Yep.
Just trying to keep building.
Stack. This is what we do.
I mean, it's got a pretty decent start here. I mean, the Gabu and the Guru, or Gabu X, and then goes into the Guru X. So he's right there. He's right back at it.
Yeah, it just instantly has another line that just has, honestly, kind of better inheritables. This is just a better line.
Yeah.
Yeah, gets a new a purple wear there.
But Promo Davis can be scary. I think an early Promo Davis, at least for this iteration of armors, I don't really see it being run as much maybe in the newer armor iteration, but I think in this one in particular, like the amount of gas that an early Davis can give you is crazy.
Yeah.
Because we've seen here with like you know, Lezim's been doing his thing, but you know, we've been passing Steven over 3-4 memory, which has allowed him to do so much, right? You set up another Davis, theory you can play on another Vmon, you can set up more stuff in the back. Like there's so much you can do with all that memory.
Yeah, I mean it's also nice too, because just like you were saying, establishing the tamer to get the extra memory while also being able to play out a body at the same time is just huge.
Yeah,
so much gas for it. Lezim will attempt to swing over the Magna. Now, something he could have. Oh no, he swings again. Go ahead and do a check.
I'm curious if it's even necessary to try to swing over that Magna at that moment. I get the idea of it to just kind of maybe slow pace down a little bit, but
set it back. But
with the amount of, you know, unless you can get rid of that Vmon, which he definitely can, you know, but I feel like you're better off just getting that extra check in and just trying to go for game with this play.
Honestly, you know what they should have given the BT-15 Gabumon? Piercing. It should have had it where if you had a Met on board, you gain piercing, not blocker. Because I mean,
yeah. That would make more sense.
The blocker is just weird to me on him, because like BT-15 Melga, just says 3 Digimon can't suspend. So you already don't have to worry about those unless they're like, I don't know, Arrestor Dramon superior mode, I guess, who can attack without suspending.
Realmon coming up with overclock too.
Yeah, which, you know, is later. But like, it's basically cards that can attack without suspending, which is, there's one right now. We get another one in like 4 months.
Yeah.
But both of the Melga X have blocker in some way. Either the EX5 one just has blocker all the time inherently, or the BT9 one gains it on Evo. So it's like, why? I don't understand the idea to put blocker on the rookie.
Old Yeller.
I don't.
That's the idea.
Just to make it worse. Because I just feel like you're never gonna leave your turn on a level 5 wanting your level 5 group wear to block, right? There's too much removal right now for that to ever even be like relevant.
I agree. I mean, I guess it does kind of sync with the battle protection mantra, but even then, like you said, it just feels kind of bad.
Yeah, it's just a useless effect. It's a useless game. It doesn't actually do anything. It just kind of happens. I hate it. Do better, man.
But Lezim had a pretty spicy option. I don't know if you guys saw that, you know, with Supreme Cannon, Ode to the BT5 days, where you essentially can bounce level 6, or not level 6, sorry, 6k, no, yeah, 3k DP or less, back to hand.
Yeah, unless you have a card with Gurumon on board, with the name on board, then you can pop 5k.
And then you was able to do that. Steven had some pretty good board establishment, and then we passed turn over. Lezim is going into Amelga Ace, then subsequently into Amelga X-Antibody from EX5. Allows him to then give the whole board lose 4 memory when swinging. Does a check. Just a card, restood, and then attempts to swing again, pitching a card to pop.
Yep.
And does end up living, and then we'll pass turn. Looks like with an Omni here. We'll restand and try to swing for the last check. Hits a Promo Davis. And looks like Steven's thinking about what he wants to play out. Just end up deciding to play out a jamming Vee-Mon. And then he goes up to 6.
Yeah, so he gets a lot of memory. I mean, the jamming and BT-12V being on board already is pretty scary too. It's pretty tough.
Yeah. Because we've seen a fire rocket in hand, I believe. So if he's able to pull off some shenanigans, then things can get a little crazy. Magnus can be a big guy because he's got 5 armor forms and trash. So he's looking at a 17k Magna right now.
Yeah.
Which if you give that fire rocket, it's just gonna plow through security.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, Heavens will have Lezim at least recover one with the Protoform, but we'll lose the memory off of the Amelga Ace. Which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And then sets up a starter deck Magna to keep the big blocker on board, and have another Magna on the field ready to go. Lezim kind of has to do something, so he does push up the Gabu, is able to draw and gain a memory off the mat, and the Gabu effects then goes to the Gabu X, goes into Garuru. I will say Lezim has been like pretty spot on at seeing his lines.
Yeah,
he has not
definitely
missed a beat.
He's just had some pretty unlucky.
The only
security.
problem is that he is now out of a deck.
Yeah.
So unless he wins this turn, it's all Jover. But goes into the promo Garuru, and I think at this point it's kind of rough because I don't see a way that he can get rid of that Magna blocker. Now, he does have the battle protections, which can be helpful because if Steven does choose to block, he can at least give himself a deck again and keep the body on board. But then Steven say he has pseudo ace. So he's like, if you swing, I'll just
just strip the protections, block with the big guy, and then that's game. Yeah.
Ooh.
That is good. That's tough. That's a hard board to get past. He was right there, but just not enough damage to get all the way through.
Yeah. Yeah. Sort of like you said, Melga is very good at doing the thing. It's just sometimes if you stop it in the process, it really struggles at recovery.
Yeah, it just takes too long to try and get back up there. Yeah, unfortunately.
But I mean, well played by both players. I mean, Steven pretty much had a response for everything that Lezim did, but Lezim didn't go down without a fight. He definitely did everything in his power to do what he could. Just like you said, unfortunate security hits, and just good counters that were just right there and ready for him. So, overall good match. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And hopefully we'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.